And we're live. Here we are. I'm here with the zombie back from the dead, JCrypto in the flesh. This is a guy who has survived COVID, survived so far, and you're looking fresher and younger than ever. How are you doing, Jay?
Dude, I can't taste or smell anything right now, which is super annoying. Yeah, COVID is a bastard, for lack of a better word. I'm feeling great though. I'm feeling spry, and I'm excited. What gauntlet is this? Do we know which gauntlet this is?
This is episode 9 here, and it's going to be a very special one. The biggest giveaways, a ton of giveaways for episode 9 of the Gauntlet today. Hey, Where's good to see you. Yo, yo, yo.
Where's and I have an inside joke.
Oh, really? Is it ready to come outside, or does it have to stay secret?
No, it's not really just ours. It's like the CNFT Taco Tuesday community. Stinky fish. That's all I'm gonna say. It's nothing bad, but it's definitely a funny one.
Got it. Very cool. Well,
Thanks,
I
boys.
want to learn more about like what you've been up to the last week. What was your secret like while you're battling the Rona? Was it a lot of orange juice and vitamin C, or like what
All
was the diet? What was the trick? How did you do it?
So I'm definitely not a doctor or anything of that nature, but for me, it's a lot of it is just the normal stuff, just getting rest and whatnot. But a big portion of it is mental, I think. I think that being strong mentally is definitely something that helped, because it was a weird one, right? It peaked. It felt like a wicked flu, and then it just left as quickly as it came. So for
Wow.
me, it was just in those moments at the peak of it, when you're achy and all those things, and I'm younger, and that's probably to my benefit, but it's definitely keeping mental resilience. I'm going to get through this. My body's healthy, strong. Just kind of telling yourself that maybe sometimes can help. And I do I did that a lot.
Wow, very good, very good. And so, you must have heard about the Rona before you got it. A whole bunch of people telling you about their symptoms. Was it worse, or was it somehow less worse than what you thought?
Um, I don't know. It's everyone's said that it affects people completely different. So I think you don't really know what you're gonna experience. So I kind of knew that going in, and it was just yeah, man. You just got to. I don't get sick like ever. Like I never get sick. So this was kind of as interesting as it sounds, a good time for me to chill out in a weird
Nice.
way. So it was a little
Yeah.
bit of a blessing, to be
Oh,
honest
wow.
with you. And I know that's cliche and it sounds like, yeah, whatever, but it's honestly true. I got to get off of social media. I had some scheduled posts once I found out that I got it. Thanks for big shout out to Viva LaCoin, who did an interview before I got it, and he posted on his channel. He gave me the video file so I could post it on mine. And Subcritical and I actually did an interview the night before I found out that I had it.
Oh,
So it was
wow.
kind of fun to post that as well. So yeah, it was a good little break. It was like a vacation, you know.
Wow, the Rona vacation. Unreal. Well, it's really good to see you back. A bunch of us were worried about you for a bit there, but then we started to see you pushing content. A day after you had the Rona, you're pushing out
I was
videos, and
excited to get
so
back. I
I
was
was
just
trying to
like,
figure
so
out,
much
like,
is happening too with
yeah,
Wing Riders decks, and
yep.
there was just a lot coming out, and I knew I was missing some of that research and stuff. So I was itching to get back.
Very cool. All right. Well, glad to hear it. It has been a busy week. There's been a lot of stuff happening. A lot of Twitter Spaces. I think Charles did like 2 Twitter Spaces in the last week. There was a big 420 Twitter Space on Wednesday for April 20th. So that was pretty cool. Well, we had Baz moderating that with us, and a lot of good questions came out. The Cardano Ministry, we had our service on Sunday where we talked about the meaning of truth, and that was really, really good. I got to tell you, Jay, the ministry is growing. I
What's
was
the
at
meaning of truth, Timmy? hold on. Let's unpack that for a second here. What's the meaning of truth?
Well,
Isn't it
that was
just
it.
to be honest? What's the
Well, it was like a 6-hour Twitter space, so it'll be hard for me to summarize it for you right here. But I think the discussion got into like a good place where like truth can be subjective, right? And kind of the difference between truth and facts. And so facts can be real, but truth, your truth can be different from my truth. And so we kind of got down the rabbit hole that way. But
perspective?
perspective. Yep. But what was really cool was just how many people were wearing their robes. You might have started to see the Cardano Ministry profile photo with the snake eating itself, and we had over
Never
10
saw that.
people. I think it's really taking off.
That's amazing, Timmy. Oh, before I forget, let me share my screen real quick, Timmy, because we are doing another giveaway. So both me and Timmy, a few other content creators, were given whitelist spots to give away from the Ape Society. I'm going to be giving away 3 on a tweet that I posted, and then I have 2 more to give away today. And Timmy has done a similar strategy where he's giving, I think, 3 away in a few different ways. But on the Gauntlet, he's giving away 2 today too. So we have 4 whitelist spots for the cabins for the
Yeah.
Ape Society. So if you don't mind, Timmy, let me share my screen real quick with these guys and girls and just show them how they can kind of enter. If you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. And this is like crazy. I mean, I tweeted the giveaway and people were just going crazy over this. There's a lot of hype, definitely over this kind of thing. So if you want to participate, all you got to do is comment on this tweet that I just posted. So go to my Twitter, which is at JCrypto_YT. You're going to want to follow Timmy, and you're going to want to follow myself, and then you're just going to want to retweet this and comment #Gauntlet on this tweet, and that's all you got to do. We're going to be giving away 1 every 30 minutes, so I guess the first giveaway will happen in 20 minutes from now since we're already at 2:10 East, 6:10 UTC.
That's right.
So every 30 minutes, because it's a 2-hour show, the Gauntlet, we're going to be giving away 4 total whitelist spots, which is pretty cool if you ask me.
Yeah, it's super, super cool. There's a lot of people looking forward to these. Let me tell you guys a little bit more about oops. We don't want to do that. Hold on. Hold on. Let me tell you a little bit more about what these things are all about. Actually, I'll be right back.
No problem. I'll give them the rundown of the rest of the show while you're fixing your technical difficulties as a virtual cat. Hopefully,
I'm back.
Timmy isn't getting
I'm back.
hacked.
So hold on. Here we go. All right. So one thing I wanted to show everybody actually was some of the info we have from the team on these cabins. You can see my screen okay, right, Jay?
Yeah.
So the cabin whitelist, the whitelist is actually happening on the 27th. Everybody that has these whitelists that we're giving away today, you're going to be able to use the whitelist on April 27th. So what is that? That's not Sunday or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think. So Wednesday morning, if you're in North America. Yeah, #Gauntlet. That's right, John Michael. So the actual minting happens on Wednesday, but if you already have a Noble, you're going to be able to mint on Tuesday, and then the public sale is on Thursday. So it's all happening Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The price is 150 ADA. So heads up on that, 150 ADA, and there's 3 different sizes of cabins. There's a cottage, which is the smallest one, and you can see that here. That's the cabin. But then there's also an estate. And if you go to my Twitter profile, or if you go to JCrypto's Twitter profile, actually, maybe we can show them that now. The estate is the medium size. And so some people will be able to mint one of these. This is the estate. And then the rarest is the largest one. It's called a chateau, which is like a castle in French, a chateau. And so those are the 3 different sizes. In total, there's going to be 5,000 of these given away for anyone that holds an ape. But then there's 250 that the team is giving away to content creators and things like that. And that's how JCrypto and I got some. And then on Thursday, the public sale will have the remaining. So 4,750. In total, there's going to be 10,000 cabins. So yeah, so that's how it works. I also wanted to share, like, if you own an ape and you have like multiple apes in your wallet, you might be able to get multiple cabins. So let's say if you have 3 apes in your wallet and you're an ape holder, you'll definitely have one whitelist spot. And then you'll have a 95% chance at getting a second whitelist spot and a 90% chance of getting a third. So they've got a table here. This image is from their Discord. You can go into the announcements channels and see this. But yeah, so just zooming out a bit, JCrypto and I are giving away 4 whitelist spots today during the show. And that'll let you mint on Wednesday for 150 ADA. Anything else I'm missing there, Jay? What would you add?
Honestly, that covers the gamut of the giveaway. We'll just keep track of the time here. I'm sure that the chat will keep us honest on each one. I'll do a shared screen and we'll just pick somebody. It'll be fun. I like to give away on the Gauntlet because a lot of the projects that are on the Gauntlet are sponsoring me and Timmy. So whenever we can give away something to the viewers that kind of create the audience, and obviously some people just like to see our content and deep reviews, and some of the sponsored projects are actually like worth seeing too.
Yeah.
But whenever we can give back to the kind of our community that we have, our joint community of people that like watching us together, it feels really great. And honestly, big thanks to the Ape Society, who's kind of given us the opportunity to even give back to people that way. I'm sure that if you are in the Ape Society, or if you even know about it, you know how much hype this mint has, and that's why there's so many interested parties that want these whitelist spots, because chances are, Timmy, the price will probably go up as soon as somebody mints. So whether you're
Yeah.
flipping or holding, there's something there's some value to this whitelist.
Yeah, this team is doing amazing things. They're a very unique, very special team. With the cabins, once you have a cabin, you're going to be able to go, and it's like your own little metaverse space. It's your own little bubble, almost like a Corncupias bubble. It's all being built in Unreal Engine. And so you're going to be able to go into your cabin, and there'll be like furniture there. And there'll be photo frames on the wall. And you can frame your NFTs. And so if you have an ape NFT, you can put it in the picture frame. And I think that will earn you higher staking rewards. So the Ape Society has a token called Society. And the idea is that with these picture frames that are in your cabin, that's how you'll be able to earn Society as a staking reward. But then you'll also be able to put all kinds of furniture in there. They've talked about building like their own internal marketplace where you'll be able to go and buy furniture. And there's a group of apes that from their NFT collection they're called craftsmen, and they can create furniture. And so it's a really, really deep system. It's really, really awesome. I also wanted to show you guys one other quick thing about the apes, actually. Is on JPG Store. So the Ape Society originally minted for 99 ADA. And it was a high price at that point. They minted, I'll zoom in a bit here. They minted around December, January. It was early, I think maybe early January, maybe end of December actually, for 99 ADA. And right now the floor is 2,350 ADA. So, people have seen a 23x from the mint price for the actual apes. Now, that doesn't mean that the cabins will do the same, but that gives you an idea of how they performed historically. And so, 150 ADA is more expensive than some of the other metaverse plots, like from their mint prices. But actually, if you look at the market price of all those metaverse plots, they're a lot higher than 150 ADA. And I wanted to say that when the Ape Society minted, their mint price of 99 ADA was higher than most other projects, but it still has turned out to be a beautiful investment. And so we'll see. They say the past is not a predictor of future performance, but I wanted to share that with you guys just for some context on how great this team has been performing historically. Yeah, actually,
So
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's all good. What were you going to say, Timmy? I was just going to give people kind of a roadmap because we definitely have some topics here that I'm excited to get into as well.
Yeah, I just
Um,
wanted to tell people like the same story, maybe with a different view. But this is the chart here of their floor price. Obviously, it's coming down just a very little bit because of the mint, but because there was a snapshot that just finished. But you can see it started way down. It actually started lower than here. This is going from 500, and you can see it's just been up and to the right. And so this is the performance of the ape society itself. And so yeah, it's quite impressive. But yeah, go ahead, Jay. Help set the stage for what we're doing today.
yeah, so I was talking to Timmy, and it's funny because we have a bit of time here before we get into kind of a review of a project, but what would be fun to kind of talk about too is a few of these topics. So one of the topics that where we're going to talk about in this first 40 minutes here is going to be our number one Cardano altcoin hold. So from a fungible token, we'll also do the same thing for NFTs. And then we'll get into trends a little bit. So trends in DeFi and NFTs that we're seeing. I'm seeing two trends that I think we're going to continue seeing here, and I'm interested to see if Timmy has any. Timmy has a story on CIPs, and then he might even go into a couple of projects as well if we have time at the end. How does that sound, Timmy?
Yeah, I think that sounds really good. It's going to be a whole mix of like a random grab bag of different topics and different formats. Today's show is going to be a mix of kind of casual chatter between Jay and I, and we'll bring up some chats from the live chat, and then we'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about a few different projects. But we think we'll actually have Space Pugs Alpha. I think the founder of that, Ultimate Warrior. Hopefully, he'll be joining us on the show in about half an hour, maybe around the hour mark. Their project is minting right now. They actually just started minting a few minutes ago. Their whitelist. So I'm really excited to talk to a project founder, kind of just a few minutes after they started minting. And I am a cat. But to be honest, I'm a huge, huge dog lover. And so super excited for the Space Pugs Alpha. I really want to see them do well. The founder is another YouTube creator, right? So he's kind of a cousin, a brother of JCrypto and I. And so I hope that his project does really well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting getting that live reaction right after mint. You're right. I
Yep.
don't think I've ever done that before either, so that would be fun to kind
It's
of
great to see
do.
Rob here. Hey, Rob, how's it going? Rob, I actually tweeted this morning. Actually, here, let's do a question right now, Jay. I'll throw a random one in. Rob tweeted about some classic gaming that he was reviewing. I think some arcade games, and I think the image was of the Gauntlet, actually, which is pretty funny. Did you see that tweet, Jay Crypto?
No, no, I haven't seen that yet.
Let me
That's
see if I can
incredible.
bring it up. It seems like it might be pretty topical. But I'm curious, have you played any like cabinet style arcade games much, Jay?
Cabinet
Or
style?
like the boxes, like the actual physical arcade machines. I might be aging myself. I'm not sure if your generation kind of knows what those are, but like the arcade
Like
games that
just
are like
an Yeah, no, I know. You basically go to a bowling alley and you lose all your money that way, right? It's like in the section of the bowling alley, you go and then you play those games for like an exorbitant amount of price, and then you try to win tickets on some of them, and usually the amount of items that they have to exchange for your tickets are at they're bought at such a discount for how much you're spending on those machines.
that's right. Well,
It's like a casino for kids, I like to call them.
a casino for kids, yes, but you don't win money. But this was an image that Rob posted, actually. Rob is the founder of Corncupias, a project that Jay and I are big fans of. But take a look at what it says right here. It says the
Ah,
Gauntlet. The Gauntlet was a classic arcade game, actually very similar to Diablo. I think you could say Diablo is really kind of a derivative of the Gauntlet. And I remember me and my friends, long time ago, we would spend a lot of quarters, a lot of pocket change on these machines. What was cool is the local arcade in my city where I grew up, they actually had a membership. And so we were able to pay, it was like around $80 a month. And that would give us unlimited access to some of the machines. not all of them, but to most of them. And so we didn't have to pay quarters. They would basically give us these other like fake tokens, and we were able to play tons of the Gauntlet, basically unlimited access. And so yeah, when I saw this morning, I was like, oh wow, the Gauntlet right there on the arcade machine. And so this is Rob doing some game research, which gets me excited for Cornucopias. Like, are they going to have some classic arcade games in there? I wonder. I wonder if there's any alpha, Rob, that you could share around, this other tweet as well. That's all about retro gaming. So that's kind of cool.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm excited to see what kinds of things are inspired from these retro games in Cornucopias, because I know a lot of us in the play to earn and metaverse content space are excited for Cornucopias, really excited for Cornucopias. So it is interesting, and I guess that is kind of the roots of some of these games. But Timmy, so we got 7 minutes here. I'd love to open up the first kind of topic before we forget, because one thing that's a big passion of mine recently has definitely been diving into the early stages of DeFi on Cardano. It's just a really interesting time. The market isn't super hyped up, bullish. You don't have people aping into tokens. You have a lot of projects releasing tokens, though, on the Cardano blockchain. And I was just curious, man, if we could just kind of go play some ping pong here on your number one kind of fungible token Hold. I'm going to pull up the Muesli Swap app real quick because I really like their price charts, and they show all the different tokens that they have listed. It's just a very intuitive way to do it. So we can kind of look at some of these if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. I think it's going to be hard for me to pick one. I will say, like,
and a long-term hold as like an investment. So like one that you think is like, honestly, and you can contextualize it, but what projects are you looking at right now that are out and saying, this is actually an interesting long-term hold, and maybe why, and things of that nature?
Yeah, I think, I think we're seeing some of it in the chat, but I think I'm probably with Rob here. Society, which is the Ape Society coin. That's one that I hold, right? Because I have 7 apes. I used to have 9. I wish I had those 2 that I sold. But I've been collecting this Society coin that they've been airdropping to anyone that has apes. And so I'm a big fan of the Society coin, and it's going to allow us to purchase stuff from their marketplace to put in our cabins. And so we're doing these cabin whitelist giveaways today, and Society is going to let us decorate our cabins, and we're going to be able to earn Society by putting other project NFTs in our picture frames. It's a really cool economy they have going. I forgot to mention that, JCrypto, the picture frames in the cabin, you're going to be able to put other projects in those. They're partnering with other projects, and if you put that NFT in the picture frame, you get Society. So I think they've got a really good ideas of how to add utility to their token. So that's probably the one I'm most excited for. I also have Lazy Token from the Lazy Llamas, and then the proxy token. I'm a big fan of the Cardano Proxies project. I did an interview with their founder, Tudor, last Sunday. But they have a beautiful mission of trying to help the environment and cardiovascular health. And so I think it's a beautiful team. So that's what I would say is Society, Lazy Token,
NFT
Proxies.
tokens, though. You're really going all in on the NFT tokens, it sounds like.
Well, I think on the metaverse tokens, certainly Pavia will be cool, but I'm most excited for Clay. So Clay Nation is going to be giving away a token. They don't have a token yet, but I'm really excited to get the Clay Nation token. And then I've got a bunch of Pavia from the airdrop. And what's cool about Pavia is I was doing so MinSwap has a Pavia pair, and so anyone that has Pavia can do an ADA Pavia liquidity providing. So I mean, I'm just throwing out so many. It's hard to pick. I would say though, if you're interested in outside of NFTs and outside of metaverses, the altcoin I'm most excited about is the Gens altcoin, and this is from the Genius Yield DEX that's coming out later this quarter in May or June. And I think that's actually going to be one of my favorite altcoins and that I'm going to hold for a long time.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you're you're kind of for metaverses, Pavia. I honestly think that Cornucopias and Pavia are very interesting, and Cardania, because the thing about Cornucopias and Cardania that they can do, because they're a play to earn game, is create a lot of different syncs. So they can, in the white papers of both projects, they talk about this, but basically if you can build a platform that people are playing a game and it's play to earn, we've seen with Axie Infinity, it can be really lucrative, and you can create a really well-oiled, self-sustaining economy. Because when people are in cornucopias buying items to replenish their energy, to go on quests, they're constantly kind of putting money back into the ecosystem to be given back out to the players. And I just think that because we're so early and we haven't seen that yet, and we haven't seen like a metaverse product on Cardano that works like that, we sometimes forget the potential that that actually has. So I'm very bullish on Cornucopias token for that reason. Once things get well oiled, I think right now there's potential for it to drop because we just haven't seen the metaverse out. Same with there's potential for Pavia token to continue to just be sold off, unless they did just release a tweet though, Timmy, that they're coming out with some tokenomics pretty soon. Pavia
I
did.
saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
So I think that depending on what those are, it'll be very interesting to see how they have structured their economy as a very open world metaverse. I also hope that they kind of have some game elements, to be honest with you, because if they have a leveling system for the avatars, if they have a leveling system for the Pavs, the little creatures of Pavia, they can now have a nice little oiled flywheel too for their token to be bought and sold, things of that nature. And once you get that running economy, I mean, it's when you have people basically buying items in a game and using the underlying token, whether it be Copi, Pavia, or the Cardania Rad token, which has a very low market cap and a lot of supply is being dished out, because if you own any terraforms, you're basically getting some passive income here.
Cool.
You're just basic. What's up?
Oh no, go ahead and bring up the Cornucopias token for a second.
Sure. Let me try to find it here. It's just
Copi, C-O-P-I.
Yeah, no, I was just trying to find it without having to type it in.
One thing is the chart is like doing really, really well. I wanted to show people this, that like that recently they've really been on a bit of a bull run with the Copi token. You know, this token I think before was on the Binance chain from what I understand, but now it looks like they've got it over to Cardano, and it's listed on MuesliSwap. So I would have mentioned this one. I'm a big fan of that project. I have a bunch of bubble jets, and I think I have at least one Javelin. I have to check my wallet, but you know, definitely a big fan of Copi. But yeah, I actually forgot to mention that one because I was thinking it was still on Binance Smart Chain, but now I realize it's actually on Cardano and it's performing really well.
Well, hold up a second, because this is really important, and I definitely want to, I got to ask Rob in the Discord, but one thing about this to watch out for is you can buy it at such a discount on Binance Smart Chain still. So if you look, the market cap on Binance Smart Chain is 163 million, but you can also buy it for basically 0.04, so basically 4 cents each token. But on Cardano, you can buy it for, 0.16, which is like 16 cents. So though it is true that it's had a nice little bull run here, there's just far less supply on Cardano, which is what's driving that price up. So once people are able to port over their Copi, then that will actually dilute the price, because more supply will come on. So I just want to warn people that, well, I mean, it's also an opportunity still, because you can buy it at a discount on Binance Smart Chain. Do you see what I'm saying, Timmy?
Like, oh yeah, of course, yeah. PancakeSwap has it a lot cheaper. That's what Hafiz is saying. So just a heads up on that. But Yeah, I think that's a good one to call out as well. Not just Pavia and Clay, but the Kopi token has been available for a long time.
And what I look at too is I look at the market caps. A lot of people kind of disagree with this, but I just think here on Cardano, what's cool too is like if you look at the supply and this is like some deep diving into some of the things that go behind the price, right, of tokens. But if you look at the supply of Pavia, why I do think it's a good play still, just it might continue to go down unless the game comes out middle of the year and we have some tokenomics that get released on what is going to drive that well-oiled machine that people will be spending and things of that nature. Pavia on it's interesting because they've already released 1/4 of their supply on Cardano, and that's a good amount for like a metaverse, since a lot of these tokens have high inflation rates for when they're first getting their projects up and running. So it is kind of cool to see that this much supply has been released. So the dilution of releasing more supply won't actually be that crazy. It's not like they have 1% of the supply released and 99% more will be released. It's a good amount of supply. But dude, we're actually at the 2:30 mark. So I guess I can just go right on over and see if anybody commented on that tweet, #Gauntlet, so we can pick our first whitelist winner for the Ape Society giveaway.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let me just refresh. Oh, wow. So we got 4 people here, Timmy. All right, so this is how we're gonna do it. We'll do each one different, but I'm going to assign each of these people a number, and then you're gonna pick a number from 1 to 4. Okay. So I'm just gonna say this right now. We got Audrey, Kim. Okay. And then we got Alex and JM. So the chances of winning right now is 1 in 4. Now I'm going to write down a random number next to each one. Okay. So pick a number, Timmy, from 1 to 4.
Okay, a number from 1 to 4. I'll go with number 2.
Okay. So that would be, okay, can you see this?
I can. It looks like that's Alex.
Alex is the winner of the first whitelist token. So incredible. And yeah, some people are commenting, wait, I didn't see it. Don't worry, we have 3 more to give away. So what we'll do is I will follow Alex, and basically, Alex, all you got to do just...
Oh, Alex is in the chat. Is it maybe this is the same Alex? But go ahead and do this on Twitter. Yeah, maybe Jay, you're gonna DM Alex and get their address.
Yep, that's the plan. We're gonna DM Alex. I'm gonna ask for the address. What's your address? Boom, boom, boom. And then we will organize this after the show. So that's the first one. Nice job, Alex, for commenting.
Very cool. And to everyone else, so some people didn't quite get the directions. So what you want to do is go to JCrypto's Twitter profile, and all the instructions are there. But I think he's asking everyone to like his tweet, retweet the tweet, follow both of us on Twitter, but then comment. Make sure to comment with #Gauntlet, and that's how you can get entered. And we're going to do another one in 30 minutes from now.
Yeah, and you want me to show that tweet once again?
Go for it.
Okay. So right here, this is the tweet. It's you guys and gals are not going to want to miss today's gauntlet. #Gauntlet. Just we got some new entries here, and yeah, we'll do it a little bit differently in the next 30 minutes, so that way everybody still gets a fair shake. Obviously, we won't choose Alex again, but it is what it is.
Yep. That's great. I love it. That way people have multiple chances to win. So we'll do another one at the turn of the hour, right before we have Space Pugs Alpha. Come on.
Awesome. So, okay. So we talked about tokens a little bit. Why don't we talk about NFTs? What is your number one NFT hold that you think will actually be around in the Cardano like not even just in the Cardano ecosystem, but will actually be around and work out for people if they want to get into NFTs and hold something that is, a solid project. Any other prefaces you want to put on this question? Feel free, Timmy. But that's kind of the broad overview. Quality. What's the most quality project to get into? And I know you're all about accessibility. So if you want to go for like a lower priced NFT, feel free. But what do you think?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think one way to divide it is kind of like metaverse NFTs and then maybe everything else. I think the metaverse NFTs are like, it's going to take so long for them to like build the metaverses. Like a lot of these are going to be coming online 2023. And so when we think long term, I think naturally a lot of the metaverse plays are long term. A lot of them are not going to pop until, the metaverse is actually built and people are using it. And so that's where I start when I think about long term, is some of the metaverse projects. And so I think as well, if you ask me like, what's my long term goal, what's my favorite project, I think you can, the fairest way is to look at my wallet and like what I've invested the most in. And right now, most of my wallet is in Pavia land plots. I have I have many. And so I think that's like kind of where my biggest bet is.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have a lot of Boss Planet, which I think will be the voxel based metaverse. And then I have a lot of Clay Nation right now. I was able to get quite a few of their plots. And so I haven't sold any. I rarely sell any NFTs out just because, I'm just hodling for a long time. But for me, it's the metaverse plots. All of the metaverse land is my long-term hold. And cabins. I put the Ape Society cabins kind of in that box, right? The cabins are all going to be independent, kind of Unreal Engine environments. But who knows? One day they might decide to link them all up and put them on a grid, right? I'm just speculating, but I put cabins in that category. So I think Pavia Land, Boss Planet Land, Clay Nation Land, the Ape Society cabins, and also Cornucopias. Like once I can get a bubble and I can get land there, that's going to be a big investment for me.
So let me ask you this, Timmy. What do you say to people who are questioning if metaverse land is really going? I know I'm like I love some of the metaverses. I'd say few of them now because there's just so many, and I know how competitive the space will be. It's very difficult for me to say with a straight face that 99% of the metaverses won't fail, because I think they will. But nonetheless, for that 1%, what's the argument for metaverse land that you actually see it appreciating and thriving when we already have things like Horizon Worlds, VR, and the Oculus? I just really always love to hear different points of view on this one, because it is kind of a it's a tricky question, right? It's an interesting time in history where this concept has been invented. So what's your kind of take on that?
Well, I'm less excited about the VR side of things. I think that's not really going to be a big play. I think you might see 5% or 10% connecting in VR. It's just, if you think of the pond, the lake, and the ocean, there's just not that many people, A, that have the headsets, and B, that like use them a lot. And like, I don't want to be in VR like for like 20 hours a day or like 15 hours a day. And so I'm interested in like the metaverses that run on the desktop. And eventually I think it'll be great if they can just have mobile, like on my phone. But I look at the metaverses as the platform, right? The metaverse is going to be like almost like a social media platform, but even more almost like the base layer of the internet. The metaverses are going to let other people build businesses and projects on top of the metaverse. And so that gives them longevity. They become a platform. They become part of the infrastructure of Web3. And so that's how I think of what metaverses. They're kind of on this underneath layer. And then all these other animal PFP projects or humanoid PFP projects will kind of sit on top of the metaverse. CypherKicks is mentioned in the chat. They might have a store in the metaverse where you can buy some sneakers. Ape Society, their apes might be able to be, made into 3D models and used in the metaverse. And so I think the metaverse is the fundamental platform layer, and that's why I get really excited for them.
Cool, man. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
How about you for your long-term NFT hold?
Well, I think if we were to separate this question, for me, it's like the only ones that are super obvious are going to be, I guess, what we deem as the blue chip NFTs, because as soon as we get into metaverses, the problem is they have to do a lot of they have to succeed, right? So the reason why I know that this isn't like a low cap, one, but the first 10K collection on Cardano was SpacePugs, and Alessandro, who has been behind so much of the early to mid kind of tools that we still use here on Cardano.
Yep.
SpacePugs to me doesn't actually have to do anything for it to hold its value and succeed over time, since it was just that first 10K collection on Cardano. So I think that from like a safety point, it makes sense why it's at such a high price. And that's why it is definitely a long-term hold for me, especially when something like Cardano has a chance to become the number one, third gen blockchain. Investors are going to flock if it's highly successful and used all over the world to look and say, what was the first 10K collection on Cardano? And this is just because of the collectible mindset. We look at
Right.
rookie cards. We look at things of that nature. I know it's an easy cop out answer, but it's because it's a fact. And there isn't that many projects that we can really say, wow, those were just so early. They created a niche for themselves, and the ones that I can come to think of are going to be Clays, Dead Pixels, Space Buds, for different reasons, really. That whether they actually do more or not, they're going to have that historical significance that creates a layer of kind of safety in
Yeah.
like long-term holding. So, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think the ones that have this historic framing, right? Like the first NFT collection or the first metaverse, you can never take that away from them. No matter what you build, no matter how beautiful your art is, you just can never become the first NFT on Cardano anymore. Now, the question of which is the most beautiful NFT project, that will always be changing. Which is the most promising metaverse will always be changing. But these ones that have historic context, the first 3D art NFT on Cardano, the first metaverse, the first whatever it is forever, and it can be never taken away. So I think that's definitely a good thing to consider. Yeah, I think SpacePugs will end up doing really, really well. I think there's also this question of like long-term hold as like a store of value versus like which one do you think is going to earn more from where it is now, right? Like which one has the most upside? And so that's more of like a speculative nature. Um, and so I guess maybe I would ask you that question, which is a little bit different.
Mhm.
Of all the NFT projects that you could buy now, which one do you think might have the most upside? Do you think it's the same answer? Do you think it's Space Buds that can do a 10x or a 100x, or is it maybe something smaller?
Well, it's tough because a lot of these things have to succeed in their implementations for them to experience that 10x when we get to the utility or the metaverse NFTs. So that is kind of why I like your own portfolio. I'm heavily invested into Pavia. I'm excited for Cornucopias. I mean, these things are relatively, with Pavia land right now, it's definitely in what some of us would call a down market. And if Pavia ends up, succeeding and being able to be offered on multiple platforms, because the COO of Pavia, Paul Manuel, did work with Google Cloud, and his company Multiplay is the manager director of Multiplay, which was in partnership with Unity as well, I believe, on Apex Legends, which is one of the number one games in the world right now. So
Wow.
I do think that kind of leadership is in Pavia for a reason, right? They're obviously trying to scale this thing past just what we have in the Cardano ecosystem. So with that kind of leadership, it will be interesting to see if they can succeed. I do suspect that, yeah, the price of land, and if they can really hit a home run on their tokenomics, it has so much potential. Same thing with Cornucopias. I mean, we haven't seen their land drop yet, so that's kind of why it's been out of the conversation for so long, because once we see that land and once we see more from like people actually able to play their game and what that's like, it just has so much potential. The gaming industry is ripe for disruption. We haven't seen a game that's done it completely right yet, in my opinion. So if Cornucopias can capture a bit of that blockchain gaming market in a new way, it has so much freaking potential. And that's why I also like Cardania, funny enough, because they have a few aspects to their metaverse, and I think that's probably how a Web3 metaverse kind of should be. It shouldn't just be, oh, here's one game, this is the only thing that you can do. They have a card game. They also are building an Unreal Engine 4 now 5, I assume, to create like a World of Warcraft style, adventure as well as their card game. And I know in their Discord, they have a few guys, Wiz, who's, played semi-pro Magic the Gathering. So he's helping Theory craft some of the cards over there for Cardania. And that's what I look for too, is like, what are the people in the community that have experience running guilds, have experience in gaming, that actually can help push this game to the next level to be AAA. And you'd be surprised, man. There's like some really top tier, game theorists in the Cardania Discord as well.
Oh, wow.
So I think that those spaces, I just believe, have a ton of upside potential.
Very cool. Well, I see that we still have about 11 minutes until we do the next giveaway. I know a lot of people in the chat are asking about that. The next whitelist giveaway is going to be in 11 minutes, so we'll do that shortly.
How many
But
people do you think are here, Timmy, just for the giveaway? How many people do you think?
Well, but yeah, that's a good question. I'm seeing a lot of new names in the chat, so that can give you a bit of a signal there. Good to see you, Nick Poppery. So
We're
I wonder if
trying
I
to
could.
give you guys value as much as we can too. It's, we're trying to give away stuff and give value on this show, 100%.
We've been talking a lot about NFTs, but I wonder if we could pivot for a minute and talk about DEXs for a second, for anyone that's kind of interested a little bit more on that side of things. And I thought what might be good is to bring up DeFi Llama, which we haven't talked about in a while. But this is the DeFi Llama for Cardano. Obviously, it's come down a little bit just because the price of Cardano has come down. This is in USD, not ADA. But we continue to have a ton of people still participating on DeFi. I actually wanted to show you, like, look at how many projects there are now that are doing DeFi on Cardano. It's up to 10, right? And so MinSwap is still up here, number one, with 100 million in TVL. That's total value locked. That's basically how many people are providing liquidity. But then Wing Riders is right there. Wing Riders with 63 million. So they've kind of come up out of nowhere. And then here, I'll zoom in a little bit more. I see you leaning in. Actually, this is the best I can do. Then we got Meld at 58 million. So what's interesting is then you got Sunday Swap at 51 million. These three are all within 10 million of each other. Wing Riders, Meld, and Sunday Swap.
And Wing Riders hasn't even given out rewards yet, too. So just
They,
imagine when they start doing that.
Amazing. Yeah. It's interesting that Sunday Swap is kind of like, they were the first, and we talk about SpacePugs being the first NFT, and you can never dethrone the first. But here, Sunday Swap was the first. They're slipping down to fourth place now. They still got a cool 51 million TVL though. But then you've got MusliSwap, Vi Finance, a bunch of others here, Revuto, ADAX Pro. So there's quite a few. And I wonder, how are you thinking about these? Which one do you
I have
think might
so much
win?
to say on
You have
this.
so much to say?
I have so much to say, Timmy. This is interesting. I want to get this question though first, because it's really going to help, I think, frame a few things. So if you look at Sunday Swap and MinSwap's price, Why have they been going down? Well, it's because these DEXs have farming rewards for liquidity providers. So if you take assets, you provide liquidity, you get rewarded with the underlying token of the DEX. Okay. So like for Sunday Swap, you're getting newly minted Sunday, which means that the supply is actually increasing every time that you get rewarded with Sunday. Same thing with MinSwap. So as the supply increases, even if the market cap stays the same, the price of each token is going to decrease. It's simple.
Yeah,
It's simple tokenomics.
that's not
So
a very good chart there. This has been going down for a couple months now, right? Oof.
and if you
Sunday
look
swap.
at things like Pancake Swap over on Binance Smart Chain, they have incentives in place for people to just hold Pancake token. One of the incentives is a single stake pool where you're basically earning 80% for, and by the way, Pancake Swap has like $5 billion locked in it. So they have a lot more, fees being generated. They can then dish back out to cake holders. So Sunday Swap and MinSwap don't quite have that yet. They don't have an incentive to just buy and hold Min or Sunday token. I assume that they must have some plans to create that. Otherwise, they're going to just continue to dilute the market cap by printing more Min and Sunday. And investors will see that, and they'll probably start to just sell like they have been their Min and Sunday tokens as well. So that's kind of the answer there. I do think that the comparison from SpacePugs and Sunday Swap is a little unfair. I'll push back on that a little bit, but I'm just doing this in a friendly way, Timmy. I just think that SpacePugs is an NFT project that literally doesn't have to do anything. Now, Sunday Swap is an actual, it's a project that is sheer utility. DEXs are sheer utility. So they actually have to do things to succeed and gain market share. Right now, Sunday Swap has less farms than MinSwap. So it's, to me, one of the bigger reasons why they got dethroned is because they just had less farms and people wanted to supply Ada Pavia or all these other farms that MinSwap has that Sunday doesn't. And that's why you saw so much liquidity move over to MinSwap and not stay on Sunday Swap. Now, Sunday Swap has more farms coming. They are in talks with Pavia to create a farm. I know that everything is probably finishing up on that you'll be rewarded for supplying Ada and Pavia with Pavia token, not Sunday token. Maybe Sunday token too, but definitely Pavia token, which is kind of cool. I'm actually really most bullish on Wing Riders DEX right now. I think that if they do a good job at maintaining the initial liquidity providers, the value of the initial liquidity providers farming rewards, and they dish those out in a fair way, which we still are waiting on some details on when that will be, because they're going to wait to dish those rewards out till after the token generation event, what they call it. We may see Wing Riders DEX just absolutely shoot up to the top on DeFi Llama. I also call it Llama. I heard you say Llama for a second
DeFi
there.
Llama, DeFi
It's just
Llama.
funnier.
Yep. So, I mean, I hear what you're saying. Like, we're still waiting on stuff from Sunday Swap. There's no reason to hold the Sunday token or the Min token yet. So, and you can push back on like the idea of comparing NFTs to some of these DEXs. It all depends on time frame too. Like on a 5-year time frame, it could definitely be that Sunday Swap and Min Swap do better than some of these NFT projects. But if you just look at 2022, right? If you just want to look at like the last 4.5 months, like you can't really deny that. I mean, this is Ape Society here. It's basically up and to the right. And if you go to like, Cornucopias, and this is their bubble jets up and to the right. The bubble jets has actually been performing really nicely lately. And so like this chart is a completely opposite of like Sunday Swap. And so, yeah, we can have loyalties to Sunday Swap and Min Swap and feel good. But the fact is they have been losing investments. And so what you want to do is time things right. It would have been really good to like buy some of these NFTs in January, sell them in April, and then you could get 5 times more Sunday token, right? And so it feels like it's a little bit early for some of these DEXs on Cardano to hold their token. And so I don't have a lot of their token because they're just not where we need them to be. I think they're still playing catch up. A lot of these DEXs are still playing catch up to Ethereum DEXs and DEXs on other blockchains. And so that there's no real reason to put a lot of liquidity into these yet. That's why it's less than $1 billion, right? There's only about 250 million total TVL, because I mean, right now they're not offering anything that isn't on other blockchains. And this is why I'm super, super excited for Genius Yield, because Genius Yield is an up and coming DEX that is doing stuff that is impossible to do on these other ones. It's just the other blockchains that are non-UTXO, the Ethereum can never do what Genius Yield is going to do. The protocol just doesn't support it. The main example of this is actually like concentrated liquidity. And what's interesting is Genius Yield, they actually came out with a Medium blog article a few days ago all about impermanent loss. You've heard about impermanent loss, and this is like the bane of everyone that wants to do DeFi. They keep losing money with impermanent loss. Well, Genius Yield, their Twitter is at Genius Yield O. They released a brilliant Medium article all about impermanent loss and how their DEX is going to eliminate impermanent loss. It's really, really cool. Actually, if you scroll down, you'll see it. I just want to bring it up quickly so you guys can read it later. They have a new stake pool that they're doing for their accelerator. But if you scroll down a little bit, here it is, the ultimate guide to impermanent loss. So they released this on April 18th, so just about 4 days ago. And what's super, super cool here, Jay, I was reading it earlier. It's a brilliantly designed document, very beautiful. You can see it here. They talk about what is impermanent loss. This is like an ADA USDT chart showing how impermanent loss comes about. They walk you through it. You don't need to have a ton of like technical knowledge if you don't want it. But then they talk about how Genius Yield is uniquely positioned to eliminate impermanent loss. And the way they're doing that is with concentrated liquidity, where you're going to be able to offer liquidity for certain price ranges. So you can see here, chapter 4, the solution, the Genius DEX eliminates impermanent loss. And so the way they do that is, you know how, Jay, right now, if you want to do LP or yield farming for ADA Pavia, you deposit ADA and you deposit some Pavia, and that's it, right? You basically just deposit those 2 tokens. Well, with Genius Yield, you're going to deposit the 2 tokens, but you're also going to specify a price range that you want your tokens to be used for. So you're going to say, well, I like this, but only if I'm going to provide ADA and Pavia for people to trade with. I'm happy to do that, but only if ADA Pavia pairing stays within this range. And that way you eliminate the impermanent loss that happens when the pair gets really out of range. So you protect yourself by saying, hey, if ADA Pavia diverge a lot and the price changes, don't use my liquidity. Use someone else's liquidity who entered the liquidity pool with different settings. And so this has never been done before, and it's powered by the fact that we have a UTXO. You can see it here. We have basically we're like Bitcoin. We have a UTXO model for the Cardano blockchain, and so this is a game changer. I think all these other DEXs here, MinSwap, Wing Riders, Sunday Swap, they're all doing more or less what other blockchains have. They're trying to catch up to Uniswap version 3, but Genius Yield is the first one that's doing something that the other blockchains can never do.
And I would argue, though, that Wing Riders actually does do something that other blockchains can't do, because all the ADA in your LPs on Wing Riders also gets staked into a stake pool. So that's like really a new innovative thing for DEXs. So you're able to earn on the staked ADA, you know what I mean? So if you have ADA Pavia, all the ADA in that ADA Pavia LP is being staked to a stake pool for Wing Riders DEX. And that's really cool to see too. But yeah, concentrated liquidity, it's definitely going to be a game changer and give us some options, especially if we have something like ADA Pavia, where we don't know if Pavia succeeds or ADA Corncupias. We don't know if Corncupias succeeds. just what the upside of that is. Because if we look at Metaverse's top tier on Ethereum, we see that they're in the $3 billion market cap. So that means that these tokens could literally do maybe not that much of that, would be like 100x from a $30 million market cap like we have here on Cardano. So maybe not that high, just because more people are investing in Ethereum than Cardano still, but at least a 20 or 50x. So by having concentrated liquidity, it will definitely protect in case things get crazy for a minute and you just like end up, not getting the same upside.
Okay, well, it is time for another whitelist giveaway. If you're okay, I might do this one, and I have a different idea for how we can give it away using Google's random number generator. So let's go ahead and give away another Ape Society Cabin Mint, and then after that, we're going to invite the founder of Space Pugs Alpha onto the show to learn all about how their mint is going. So we'll take a couple minutes to do this giveaway now. Does that sound good, Jay?
Yeah, that sounds awesome, man. Let's see who gets this.
Okay, so what I've got here is this is the tweet from JCrypto. Make sure to follow him at JCrypto_YT. He's asked everybody to follow me and him and I, and then also to retweet this tweet. And then in the comment, you need to put hashtag Gauntlet. So hashtag Gauntlet in the comments. So you can, I love this. Here's the Gauntlet arcade game right here. How cool is that?
That's extra effort. I think
extra effort.
Tommy wants that spot, man. Oh, man.
There he is. And he's right here in the chat too. Yeah, Mike is coming, Ben. Yep, you got it right. Ultimate Warrior is going to be here. So, so let's give this away quickly. What I want to do is count how many we have here. Geez, how many do we have actually? Why don't we do this? I can just look at the number of comments at the top, right? And hopefully they all have hashtag Gauntlet. So there's, why isn't it telling me how many comments?
Let me see if I can find it. Maybe refresh. Oh yeah, it doesn't say.
It doesn't say how many comments.
We probably have, holy mackerel, look at all these hashtag gauntlets, Timmy. This is so fun to see, man. Like me and Timmy put this together. I've never seen so many hashtag gauntlets. So thanks for everybody that did that.
Can you count the comments quickly while I get the random number generator ready?
I would, yeah, man, absolutely.
It should only be like, 37, someone says. Kimberly says 37.
Oh, shout out to Kimberly for doing some math for us. That was clutch. So why don't we do 40, and then we can just kind of.
Yeah, so I'm going to use Google's random number generator here, and so I'll go from 1 to 37.
Yeah.
And
3, 4.
Hit generate. 32. Okay, so the number is 32. Someone else confirmed it is 37. So the winning number is 32 from Google. So let's count down. 1, 2, 3.
Sorry, call me.
Here. Go ahead and talk while I do this.
Okay, so 29, 20. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's definitely interesting what's happening with DeFi. I know that some of you guys and girls were commenting that you're more into CNFTs than DeFi, and it's totally, I understand that 100%. It's funny because we all get into Cardano in crypto in different ways. Oh, you got something here, Tim?
I think we do. Yes, I think it's Ilioku20 with this cool Apple symbol here. I think this is number 32, at least on my list, the way that Twitter rendered the list. So, Ilioku, I'm going to follow you, and I'm going to send you a DM and ask you for your address. And then we'll be providing that address to the Ape Society team for the whitelist. So that's 2 whitelists given away, but we have 2 more to give away, right, Jay? So we're going to give another away in 30 minutes and then another in 30 minutes after that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we do have some suggestions. You should filter out the Gauntlet, hashtag Gauntlet comments.
Got it. Okay, so let's,
not sure what they mean.
Let's get ready then to have Mike on the show. What do you know about Space Pugs, Jay, or what do you know about pugs and dogs in general while I get Mike on the show?
What do I know about Space Pugs? Honestly, nothing other than what you've told me. What do I know about pugs and dogs in general? I know I know probably as much as the next human. I mean, we have a dog, and the thing is, our dog is it's just awesome. It's an Australian Labradoodle. She's wicked smart. Too smart sometimes. She really knows what to target when it comes to trying to get our attention. And we take her on walks like twice a day, but it's interesting how smart she is. She's got a little bit of a poodle, that Labradoodle kind of poodle DNA, where she knows that the remote controller to the TV is a better thing to steal and chew on to get our attention than, I don't know, a plastic cup, right? So it's dangerous. She's dangerously smart, really cute. So it's impossible to be mad at her. To our detriment, sometimes we even probably should be more disciplinary towards the pup, but it's impossible to be mad at her because she just knows how to play us with her cute little eyes. So I do know that dogs can, I have a lot of respect for dogs, especially dogs like mine that really know how to play humans. They're smart creatures. They're smarter than they seem, and they're just awesome. They're awesome to have around. So that's kind of my take on dogs, Timmy.
I'm a big fan of dogs. A lot of people joke that cats and dogs don't get along, but I've actually lived with a lot of dogs. I've lived with a beagle. I actually lived with the Shiba Inu. I lived with the Shiba Inu for 12 years, which is a Doge, an actual real Shiba Inu, 100% purebred, but just beautiful dog. Her name was Maya. So I'm a really big dog fan. I haven't owned a pug, but my parents have, I think. I think they've had like a pug mix. And so I'm a big fan of pugs, and I know like pug owners are like rabid about how much they love their pugs. So I think like it's so cool to have not just a dog project, but a project about a breed. It's all about this idea of like tribalism and like people love their breeds. I love the Shibas, I love the Beagles. And so, yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea. And we've seen so many cat projects, but I haven't seen like a really good dog project. So I'm super excited for this one. I see Mr. Ultimate is in the lobby. So we'll bring him in right now. Let's go ahead. There we go.
Mr.
You're on, Mike.
Ultimate.
How you doing?
How you guys doing? Everything sounding okay? My AirPods weren't working.
Sounds
Yeah.
perfect. I was worried for
Great.
some echo, but we're in business. Yep, looking
Awesome.
good. So how's it going? You guys are minting right now, from what I understand.
Yes, sir. Everything's going great. Appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you so much. We are actually minting the whitelist live as we speak right now. And so far, everything's going pretty smooth. I think the blockchain's a little bit slow. There's a lot of projects minting today. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, pugs are on the way. Everything's good from the reports I've been getting.
That's so cool. I actually just threw a link to the project, the website in the chat. And yeah, tell us a little bit about the minting details. I think like 'cause you have a big airdrop coming. I want to talk about that in a minute, but how many are being minted today? What's the price? What are the high level numbers?
Well, so we're minting the 5,000 today, and that's the 40 ADA whitelist mint price. And we've got the huge airdrop, which comes 4 weeks later. So that'll be a 2,500 pug airdrop. That basically goes as pretty much a 2-for-1 for everyone that you have in your wallet. By the time we do that airdrop, there's a 50% chance that you're going to get an airdrop pug. So we're roughly dropping about a third of the project to the holders at that time. So we're really excited to get some extra pugs in people's hands. And so far, everything's going good.
I've never heard of this, like a project that mints 5,000 and then they give a free airdrop of like half that amount, 2,500, just a few weeks later. Like you could easily have sold those as part of a public mint or something like that. But instead, you're just going to give them all away. How did you decide to do that?
Well, we decided we didn't know exactly how many we were going to mint. We didn't want to do a 10,000 mint drop. I just that's not for every project. We could have easily minted those as well, but we decided we really want to have this project be for the people basically who are contributing from the very beginning, the people who have been with us on the ride. And we decided, hey, let's just do some massive airdrop. Let's take this amount and let's give it back to the people who are holding pugs. So we decided to do that, and we're very excited about it. I think, by the time, we get to that point, the floor will be looking pretty good. So to get a free airdrop of something that's, worth a good amount of ADA, That's
Yeah.
going to give something people to be excited about and want to continue to buy on the secondary. So that's the reason why we did it roughly 4 weeks later, because not everyone's going to get to mint this project, because most of it's going towards the whitelist minters.
Right.
So anyone who wants to buy on secondary can go ahead and stack those pugs, and everybody who has pugs in their wallet will qualify for this airdrop.
All right. So we'll jump into the art in a minute. I want to show there's actually a really good story about the art and who the artists are. But you're minting today for 40 ADA, and then I think the public sale is tomorrow, right? But we're just not sure if there'll be any left, is the idea. But the price is 50 ADA if there are some left.
That is correct. For whatever that's not been minted by the whitelisters, of the 5,000 that we're minting, there will be an untold amount left over, which we will let people know what that amount is, what the transaction per wallet will be. We won't know that till after, of course, we've completed the whitelist mint. But yeah, that's exactly how we've structured it.
Got it. Very cool. And let's take a look at the art on some of these. And what can you tell us about, like, who created these? Who are the artists behind this project?
I got to give a shout out to the Frog Factory team, man. Waylon, Wayman, and Obi. These guys are real life tattoo artists. I know they've been on your show before.
Yep.
So anyone who's familiar with Frog Factory, they are the same people who are doing the pugs. They've done a great job on the pugs. It ended up being better than we could have imagined. So we're super excited about that. These guys are very professional. We speak every day, and the final product came out really good. I mean, look at those pugs. They look great.
What really stands out to me is the traits. Like, you have a lot of traits here that I haven't seen before, like the frisbee in the mouth, which of course is a total, like, perfect for dogs, right? Jay, I don't know
Yeah,
if you
totally.
ever play frisbee with your dog, but I love to see that at the park. It's super impressive. The night vision goggles, like, this is like one of these hats. What are they? I call them like poker hats, but these visor hats here. Just a ton of unique traits. Like, how did you guys generate the list of traits?
Actually, the generation of the traits, I got to give a shout out to my partner, Boss Cat Kung. He's the one who did the entire trait list. So that was really all him. And these guys, of course, did a good job of getting them onto the pugs as well. But there's a lot of traits. I mean, we're barely minting live now. So there's a bunch of traits that you probably won't even see yet until after the mint. But we've got over 160 traits, I believe, if I'm correct on that. And yeah, there's a lot of good skins. There's a lot of cool hats. We got some cool things for the doggy mouths. And yeah, again, there's going to be a lot of traits that are going to be continuing to pop up. So if you guys are watching this live, make sure you're checking out what's being minted as we speak right now, and look for those rare traits, because they're coming out.
Actually, quickly on that, yeah, and check this out. The floor of this project right now is 145 ADA. They're minting for 40 ADA. The people have already done a 3x. I mean, we'll see. I know they're still coming through the blockchain, but that's looking good, right? The floor is not under mint price. Talk to us about rarity, Mike. I saw the announcement you made a few minutes ago. I think there's important information about the rarity that we should let the people know.
Very important. Timmy, you're so on the ball, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So, because we're minting the 5,000, we also minted the 277 that are for us to use for promotions and giveaways and all that stuff. So keep in mind, you guys, this is actually very important information. The rarity rankings will change once that airdrop takes place in about 4 weeks from now, because like we discussed, we're dropping 2,500 pugs. That's, roughly a third of the total amount. So when we do mint those, and we're not minting those until around that time, that will change the rarity. So if you're looking for that #1 ranked pug or whatever rank you're looking for, please keep in mind that full rarity will not be out until after the pug airdrop.
All right, I have just one more question, and then I'm going to pass it to JCrypto, who's an excellent interviewer, always asks like really, really good questions. But my first kind of lighter question is why pugs? How did you choose pugs? Are you a pug owner? Maybe tell us why pugs, and then Jay, you can take it from there.
I'm not actually a pug owner, but I probably will be here pretty soon. My wife is dog crazy. We've been talking about getting a dog, or maybe even two. Once we get out of this apartment, we'll reassess that situation. But
Nice.
Actually, Kung is the one that came up with that. We were tossing around ideas as to what to do for an NFT project, and we thought about that long and hard. He really did He's the one that came up with it. We were going to call it Space Pugs Club, but I didn't like the sound of that, so we changed it to Space Pugs Alpha. I like how dogs, in real life, they have that whole alpha structure. And of course, the
Nice.
alpha comes into play because this is the first project we're doing. We've got other projects planned, alpha being the primo, the first one. And, you have to hold pugs to be able to qualify for whitelists on future projects. So it all just kind of came out, and it works pretty well. People who are real life pug owners, they're really into their dogs, man. There's something about people who own pugs. And so we decided we could work with that, and we could really go from there.
Beautiful. What's on your mind, JCrypto? Any questions for someone who's minutes away from having minted? It's so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. The first question, Mr. Ultimate, thanks for coming on to the Gauntlet. Of course, how does it feel to talk to a virtual cat for so long? Because I do this all the time, man. How do you feel after talking to a virtual cat for the last 15 minutes, man?
The funny thing is I've seen all your guys' work. I follow both channels. I've seen some of these lives. I was on live when the frogs were on there and everything.
Yeah.
And it's actually pretty cool, man. I dig it. But this is the first conversation I've actually had with Timmy, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I think I'm crazy sometimes when I do it, but I love that, man. Dude, so I had a couple of questions I saw in the chat here that might be good to go over. So the first question is, if you could elaborate a little bit on the utility of your NFT project. And then the second question would be kind of like maybe why choose Cardano as well, and like what is your background that brought you to Cardano might be a good little segue there too.
Definitely. I would love to talk about that. That's probably one of my favorite subjects. So as far as utility goes, like I said, this is the alpha project, the first of what could be several, or at least, a few more. Holding on to pugs will get you automatically whitelisted for that as well. Part of the utility is that massive drop, because again, we do want to, reward the people who have been there with us. And we also have the Pugs Floor Fund. Now, I know these things can be somewhat controversial. I don't understand that, but I've seen projects come out and say, hey, if the project dips below mint price, we're going to come in, we're going to buy those up. But I wanted to one up that. So 50% of the royalties for life on this project are going to the PFF, the Pugs Floor Fund. We're going to come in, we're going to set a new floor, and anything that goes below that, we're going to use that fund to buy up that floor. We also want to do a lot of giveaways for this project. We're doing a lot of Smooth Yeti type stuff. I know that marketing strategy has really caught fire within the CNFT space, and I think it's great. So it gives us a way to continue to have the ability to do that. We've got some future stuff that we haven't really released yet, but we're going to continue to add things to these pugs. Now, once you create a project, you get it out there and everything's kind of working and everything's up and running, we've got a great team helping us. We've got some great ideas, you guys. We're also going to be linking our projects together again for whitelist purposes and stuff like that. Nice. A little bit about my background is I'm a crypto guy, man. I used to have a crypto YouTube channel. I resurrected it once I got into the CNFT space. My first foray with NFTs was in the Ethereum space. I got my butt kicked. It was just the cost to transact. All these things were crazy, but I'm a big Cardano guy. I have been since 2017. So I'm very familiar with Cardano. And when I resurrected my channel to cover, this space, because I've kind of rediscovered my passion for actually wanting to do these kinds of things. I had no plans to make a CNFT project. It just kind of started coming together and everything kind of just started to work out. So I definitely would have never even considered doing this on Ethereum. I don't even dwell in that world anymore. ADA is the space to be. Cardano is about to do huge things. We're all obviously huge fans of Cardano here. And I believe in Charles. I believe in the direction we're heading. I believe that the development, yes, it's been slow at first, but we're just about to hit that point where everything's about to just come to fruition that we've been waiting for so many years.
Very cool.
Yeah, man, that's very exciting to hear. It's definitely an interesting market right now where, so much is happening. So many NFT projects are kind of coming onto the scene as well. And it's kind of funny how the NFT market has held up pretty nicely in this little bearish kind of zone, whether we're bearish or bullish. But if we just zoom out, I think that you're right. So that's pretty interesting. Timmy, do you have any other questions? I think that when it comes to the utility, you guys have some unique ideas. It sounds like, though, that this won't be the first kind of project, part of maybe an umbrella that you're trying to build of potential projects or things too, and this is just kind of the first step. Is that fair to say, Mr. Ultimate?
That is fair to say. Yes. Once you establish a reputation, once you establish the ability to take a project and do everything you set out to do, I think your reputation will then precede you. Also, being doxxed, fully doxxed, being a YouTuber, being in the space, creating content on other people's projects, which was really where I got my start in this NFT space as a whole. We're excited about it. Also the metaverse is a huge subject to discuss. I mean, the metaverse is going to be developed and a lot of things are going to be, the potential for the metaverse is literally limitless. So we do want to get these pugs into the metaverse, which is kind of like space in a way, if you think about it. And, I've got a lot of estates on Boss Planet. We're going to be focusing on building on Boss Planet, potentially with other ones as well. Pavi, there's a lot of great opportunities for the metaverse. So project number 2 will be directly involved with getting these pugs into the metaverse space. And that's going to be very exciting. So, for now, we're going to focus on the pugs because I do have a pugs first policy in everything that I do at this point. This is my baby, and I want it to grow up well. So after that, we're working on the second project. And then eventually down the road, when the time comes, we'll be working on project number 3. But for now, we're focusing on these pugs. And then the next step, get them all out there in space.
Wow, that's super cool. I actually just want to show a little bit more of the art and then ask you quickly about your YouTube channel. But let's just enjoy some of the art for a minute. I haven't seen anything like this blue skinned style of pug. Is there a name for this skin, the metadata? Do you know offhand, Mike?
I actually do not know offhand. I'm actually embarrassed to say that. I'm sorry, but I do know. I'm familiar with a lot of the traits, but the skins themselves are what got me excited at first. You can see on our website we have very naked looking pugs. Those were some of the first things that came our way from the awesome art team that we have that was doing the development before we put any traits or anything else on that. So when they came up with the initial, pug, I just was like, this is perfect. Don't change a thing. We literally, this is what they came out looking like at first. And of course they started, doing some more additions to that. You can see the shadowing, the shading, the lines. It's very detailed. You can look at it and know exactly what you're looking at. These guys did a really, really good job. I'm so happy with our art team, man. Look at that spacesuit. That is just so cool. And, a lot of these traits were coming out and they were sending stuff to me so we could, so Kung and I could look at them and decide what we liked. And pretty much everything that came out, we're just like, yeah, and then these guys took it upon themselves. We left it in their hands as the professionals they are to develop all of the artwork. And gosh, they've done such a good job. I agree with you, Timmy. There's a lot of great projects on here. I've never seen one that quite looks like this. So I do believe the art is very unique, very exciting. The skins themselves, they all look great.
That's just so cute. Like, look at this face.
That's a cool pug right there.
Yeah,
Whoever
just the face.
That's a great pug.
I really love the skins. I saw a skin earlier too that was like fish scale. I think that looked really, really cool, like a fish scaled skin pug. Jay, are you about to say something, or
no? I just agree. I think that these are super. Those guys are sick over there, huh? At
the Frog Factory. Yeah.
They're real life tattoo artists. Come on, how much more of an art background could you possibly have? Putting tattoos on people's skin permanently is kind of a serious thing. So I think that's what sets these guys apart from a lot of the other art I'm seeing, is that they have that tattoo mindset. And so, we're so thrilled.
Very cool. Okay, well, I'll let you go. I know you're super, super busy with everything going on, but Ultimate, so at SpacePugsAlpha.com, I think. What's the name of your YouTube channel if people want to follow you there?
It is Ultimate CNFT, and you can go check out the YouTube channel. Obviously, I cover a lot of other people's projects, and I really, like I said, I've rediscovered my passion to create content. And when you have a passion for it, it really shows and it comes out. You end up doing a great job because it's what you do. I've never enjoyed what I do for a living. This is what my full-time job now. I've never enjoyed what I do so much as now. And before I go, I do want to give a quick shout out to Tiger Pool, man. The mint specialist. He is doing such a great job. I'm a big fan as a content creator and a collector myself, having that 3-pronged understanding of NFTs, to have a good mint is crucial. To come out the gate hot is crucial. And even though, the blockchain is a little congested right now, our guy's doing such a great job. So check out Tiger Pool, you guys. All the information on our teammates and everything is all on the website. You can check out the full array of team members that we have, and we're just working hard to get a great project out there and be part of the CNFT space. We're excited.
Right, and I think I saw in Discord that JPG store that we have this question here about the trade count shown. I think I saw you say that it's a JPG store is having a bug, but it'll be fixed soon, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. JPEG's got some things going on. I know there's a lot of projects on there that have been showing like $100 million in or ADA in volume. So there's something going on with JPEG. It's not on our end, you guys. It'll all be cleared up, no worries. And again, keep in mind that when we mint those other pugs, it's going to change the rarity. So don't go chasing that, number one, if that's really your desire to do that. Please wait. We want to be as transparent as possible, you guys, because this project is for the people, and we really want to keep people informed. Information is everything in this business. So keep all these things in mind, you guys. Everything's getting
Very
worked out.
cool. And this question from Connor, is the airdrop for anyone? No, it's for existing pug holders only. And do you have to have 2 pugs? Like if you have 2 pugs, then you can have a chance at the airdrop, or how does that work?
No, actually, I'm really glad you brought that up. So the way we wanted to structure this, and the only way really we could do this successfully, was so that people didn't have to take their pugs, send them into a separate wallet, wait for all this stuff to go on, deal with congestion and stuff. We're actually eating the cost of airdropping it straight to the wallet. So
Wow.
again, you have 4 weeks to stack pugs. For every pug that you have, it is a 50% chance of getting another pug for free. It's kind of the coin flip mentality. It's like, how many times heads, how many times tails? I will take this example and tell you it this way. Since the whitelisters can mint up to 10 pugs, if you're holding those 10 pugs, chances are you're probably going to get around 5 pugs for free. You might get 4, you might get 6. I can't see it swaying too much out of that because it's a 50% chance for every pug. So even if you hold only 1 pug in your wallet, there's a 50% chance you'll get a free pug. So again, we did eat that cost because we don't want it to cost anyone anything or be any sort of trouble. We really want to reward people for holding the pugs and diamond handing this project.
Very cool. Well, thanks for coming on and spending time with us when you must be so busy. So cool to talk about a dog project. I think the first dog project we've had on here, Jay. So that's good. I think we should let Mr. Ultimate go. Anything else, Jay, from your side, or are we good to go?
No, I think we got the live reaction. I mean, Mr. Ultimate, you seem absolutely pumped. So
Yeah.
I think that we were kind of curious on like, okay, what is a founder that just is releasing a project going to kind of come on here, and what kind of energy will they have? Will they be stressed out? Will they be frantic? But you just seem so pumped for this, your own project. And it sounds like you're really excited.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll tell you what, it's funny because people say like, I get a lot of comments on my YouTube videos. They're like, are you like this all the time? I'm like, yeah, I'm like this all the time, man. You can't get too stressed. You just gotta be a positive mindset will carry you super far in this world. I really believe that. So yeah, this is me, man. There's a lot going on. It could be a little stressful, but hey, listen, you guys, thank you so much for having me on the show. Again, I'm a big fan of both your channels. To come on here live while we're minting is such a unique experience. And I'm so appreciative to both of you guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, boss.
That's
Good
awesome,
luck
man.
with the rest
Thank
of the
you.
mint. Good luck with the rest of the project. We'll see you in a bit.
Thank you. Right on.
Bye now. Very cool.
So I think like it's kind of funny, Timmy, because at the beginning of the show, you asked about, okay, yeah, I had COVID and whatnot. What was the secret? There's no secrets, but that mental, that mindset, whatever you're doing, whether you're going through adversity, whether you're going through a sickness or illness, and I do, it did kind of tie in there. Mr. Ultimate said it himself, having a positive mindset is key to attracting good stuff into your life. So I definitely wanted to reiterate that life is all mental, boys and girls. So
yeah, I'm surprised. Like you're coming off of COVID, but you seem like super fresh, super sharp. And so I think a lot of that is, I know you've been going to the gym lately as well, Jay, and I think he does as well. He shows us his muscles. I need to get to the gym more, but I think that helped you like beat Corona and beat the virus as well. So yeah, really happy for him. I've been a big fan of his. Like for a while, we're both Boss Cat family. We have a lot of Boss Planet, spots together. I've been talking to him since about January, February. But yeah, super friendly guy, and I want to see more YouTube creators like doing NFT projects and kind of giving back a little bit and just growing the ecosystem. So yeah, everyone check out his channel, Ultimate CNFT, I think he said. And because I know the name did change, but I check it all the time. There's a ton of alpha on there. He talks about all kinds of projects. And so, yeah. Jay, we are at the half-hour mark. Do you want to handle the next giveaway?
Yes, absolutely. So let's get a count on those comments if we can, Timmy. We got 35 retweets. So to enter, people did have to retweet. So I don't know if we just have a lot of people that hadn't retweeted the tweet yet, but I kind of want to do it the same way that you did it. So yeah, man. So let's get a count real quick. If you want, you can do some filler and I'll just quickly count them up. And then I can share my screen, do a random number generator, and we can give away another whitelist spot. How's that sound, then?
I love it, Jay. Let's do it that way. I'll give you a time to do a count. I think actually Jordania brought up a good point just a minute ago that we actually had the Hosky project on here. I remember talking about that. Big fan of Hosky and what they're doing there. But that's certainly another dog project that we talked about. This question from 10 seconds ago, we want Ape Society whitelist. Well, you will have Ape Society whitelist. We're actually doing it right now. JCrypto is counting all the comments, and then we're going to randomly select one. And just a reminder that we have another one to give away after this. So we still have 2 more to give away. We're going to do one right now, and then we'll do another one a little bit later. So there you go. How did you do? What's the number, Jay?
So it's 44. And 44. It's interesting. So we only have 37 retweets here, Timmy. So we might see somebody win in the number generator, but if they didn't retweet, might have to disqualify them. But let's do the random number generator and see if, it's just, somebody that did do the, the full shebang here. All right.
Go ahead and share your screen, and I'll bring up the list of retweeters. So we have that ready to audit.
Thanks.
We'll audit the winner.
Okay. So I will just show the tweet again. This is the tweet, and we're seeing those retweets go up. So that's good to see. Okay. So 1 to 44. Are you ready, Timmy? Is everybody ready in the chat? This is another whitelist spot.
A drum roll. I can't really do one.
A cat roll. All right, let's see it. I've clicked the generate button. 35.
Oh wow, you got to count down there. Go ahead and yeah.
Holy mackerel, eh? Okay.
Fine.
1, 2.
You could also go from the bottom if you want, if you think it's gonna work. But
3,
let's do it.
4,
go ahead.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
Whoa,
18,
I feel
19.
like you might be skipping some there.
No, they didn't have the hashtag Gauntlet.
Ah, smart. Okay, go ahead.
What was I on? 19? God dang it, Tiffy. 20, 21, 22.
I think you're at 15.
23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, but this is a double entry, so we can't count the next one.
No.
And
do we have to do it again?
So it should be Daz Ad.
Oh, Daz Ad is a longtime follower of the channel, actually. He's definitely here in the chat earlier. So I'm happy with that. Do you want me to check the retweets to see if Daz Ad retweeted?
Yeah, we unfortunately have to make sure. It's only fair.
I'm checking.
He
did. Yep, he did.
Daz Ad. All right. Yep. So, and I think that's part of the Cypher Kick Nation. So that's really cool. Congratulations, Daz Ad. What we'll do is I will follow you and I'll DM you. And what's the deal, Timmy? We got to get these addresses from each person over to the Ape Society.
Yeah, so the Ape Society has asked us to give them the addresses by Sunday evening. And then I think on Monday, they said that they'll release a list of all the giveaway addresses. So on Monday, you'll be able to go to their Discord and verify if you won or not. But between now and then, anyone that won, make sure to get your address to JCrypto and I, or either of us. And then we'll pass it on to the team. And you'll be able to verify it on Monday.
Wish we could give away something to everybody. Honestly, man, it's tough looking at all those tweets, all those Gauntlet supporters, and not being able to do it, man.
I love this, Connor. Daza, DM me if you want to share. Sharing is caring. If you guys want to share the cabin, maybe become roommates, that could be pretty sweet. All right.
Huge congratulations. So one other thing that we had on the agenda was the sorry, did you want to say something, Timmy? I just two more
Just
things
wanted to
here.
say we still have one more whitelist to give away. So we're going to be giving away another whitelist in about 20 minutes at the end of the show. We're going to give away one more. So just make sure to go to JCrypto's Twitter, retweet, like us both, follow us both, and then hashtag Gauntlet in the comments. We're going to give one more away in 20 minutes.
Absolutely. And we definitely have some people that still have an opportunity. So I usually with these things, you know, it after the fact, there's always some kind of like some people just will be upset because not everybody can win, unfortunately, especially when we have like 50 people participate in this giveaway, Timmy, which is insane. It's insane. But this is a large giveaway. I mean, we're giving away 4 whitelist spots. So it is really cool to be able to do that. So one thing that we have is trends. And then we also have a SIP that we can kind of talk about. What would you like to go into first, Timmy?
That's a good question. I think the SIP might be topical to talk about very, very quickly. And actually, I think maybe I'll just take 2 minutes for this to point people to the Medium article. Why don't I just point people to a couple updates that happened recently, and then we can have another discussion. I won't take more than 2 minutes for this, but let me do that now. I'm going to share my screen.
Oh, and while you're doing that, Timmy, I just want to address, because we are getting a lot of comments that we should use retweet pickers and things of that nature next time. And we do see that, and we will definitely look into that to make it a better experience. But I kind of like just doing it this way. Honestly, it wasn't really formulated, or we weren't really well prepared, obviously, but it still is kind of fun to just be able to do it haphazardly, because it's really fair that way. Honestly, we have no idea who's going to get picked. It's random as it can be.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say, Timmy?
If anyone has any good ones that are like truly random that can be live, because I think some of these Twitter comment pickers could have like a nice spinning wheel and it could be fun. Go ahead and post a link in the chat. Help JCrypto and I out, and we'll take a look. Yeah.
And one more thing too, me and Timmy are running separate giveaways from this one. So there's another tweet that I've done that you can look on my Twitter. I won't talk about it too much here. And if you want, you can look at that. There's rules that are clearly stated in that one on how to participate. And I'm giving away, you know, I think 3 more whitelist spots for that tweet. And that'll be
insane. Good call out. And also in about 2 hours from now, I'm going to be making a tweet, and that will be giving away another whitelist spot. So just keep an eye on our Twitter profiles. I'm going to be starting another kind of contest. It's basically you just have to retweet and like, and I'll be giving away another whitelist spot that way. We each have 5 to give away. So that's why we're doing our best to give them away here and in Twitter. So just follow us both. I'm going to be starting a new one in a couple hours. Cheers, Hafiz. Thanks for prompting us.
Thanks, Hafiz. So Timmy, what's this SIP all about? Let us know.
Yeah. So this is the Twitter of the company that created Cardano at Input Output HK, and they released a new blog article just 2 hours ago. So I thought this was pretty cool to mention on the channel. The blog article is all about how they're going to scale and fix our congestion problems. And actually, if I bring up like pool.pm, it has been around 90% all week. You can see right now, the blockchain load is at 92%. And so we're desperate for some relief on the blockchain congestion. And Input Output HK released this article 2 hours ago that talks all about how they're going to do that. And one of the big ones is script referencing. And I won't get into the technicals too much, but what this is going to do is it's going to save a ton of space on each block. So every 20 seconds, Cardano writes a block to the network. And you can see here that it wrote a block here. And inside of that block, there were 2 transactions and 2 contracts. And so what you'll notice is if I want to do a smart contract on Cardano right now, here, I have to actually have the source code of that contract included in the block. It gets included in the transaction, and that takes a ton of space, and it leaves less room for other transactions. You can see another one here. You see this one? This transaction happened a few minutes ago. It had 9 Plutus smart contracts in the block and 33 transactions, okay? So this block had 9 contracts and 33 transactions. Now this contracts here, these 9 contracts, this is source code that is getting included in the block, but it's the same source code over and over again. The Sunday swap smart contract source code isn't changing, but every block has to include the same source code. All these other smart contracts have to keep including the same source code in every block, and it's filling up the block. It's wasting space. And so the big innovation here is they're calling it script references. And what that means is I can have my smart contract in one block, and then any future blocks that need to use that smart contract, instead of including the full source code again, like it could be hundreds of lines of code, instead of including it again, I can just have a little pointer that says, hey, go to this old block where my smart contract was used and just use the same code. And so instead of having 100 lines of code, I just have an address. And that address points to where my source code lives. And so the big innovation here is it's going to free up a ton of space in all of our blocks to have more transactions. Instead of 33 transactions, you see how it's 95% full with 33 transactions? Well, that's because these 9 contracts are eating up so much of the space. With reference scripts, we can have, instead of having 9 contracts eating up that space, we'll have room for more transactions, maybe 50 transactions, maybe 60 transactions, maybe even 100 transactions, because the contracts are quite big. And so that's the big change. All of our blocks in the future, after the Vassal hard fork in June, are going to be able to have more transactions. This block had 33. If I scroll down a little bit more, this block, 39 transactions, 92% full, right? 24 transactions, 98% full. But it had, look at this, it had fewer transactions and fewer contracts, but it's even more full. That's because the contracts in this particular block have a lot of source code, many lines of source code, and the source code is filling up the block. And so in June, with this new change to the Cardano protocol, you're going to be able to see a lot more transactions. And that means more NFTs being traded, more ADA being swapped, and the block isn't wasting space on the contract source code. So Input Output has a blog article that talks all about that. Olga here, she explains it much better than I just did. But you can see, what's coming in June to make the throughput and the congestion a lot better.
Timmy, man, this is why I love having you on the Gauntlet to educate us, because you really are a smart cat, and
Hey.
it's it's kind of fun. Timmy obviously went to cat engineering school, as he says, or something of that nature. So
At university, yeah.
There's just such a wide field of knowledge that people can gather on these different, aspects, whether it be from what I focus on, like DeFi and yield farming and things of that nature, or actually understanding source code and understanding how these blocks are getting almost 100% full. So it's really nice to just sit back here, and I'll probably rewatch this Gauntlet too, just to go over what you just said again, because even though Olga might have explained it better than the cat, I don't know. I just enjoyed the way that you explained that. And it does make sense, but I think I'm gonna slap on another layer of paint, like I like to say, and watch it again too. And I would recommend other people do the same, just that want to kind of absorb that information.
Well, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it. And I think it's really important that we do have more transactions in our blocks, because our DEXs are really starting to take off, right? And so there's going to be a lot more activity happening. But then also there's this idea of governance, and we really want to start using the blockchain for voting, right? And so we want to be able to vote for certain projects to use their DAO or their treasury funds in different ways, much like the way we do Project Catalyst voting. And we want to do voting on chain. That way it's transparent. Everyone can tally up the votes. We can see what's happening. JCrypto and I just did a whitelist giveaway. We're doing another one in 10 minutes. And we did it transparently where you could see in the YouTube video exactly how we did it in a fair way. What we want to do is have voting on the Cardano blockchain. But if there's a bunch of votes happening, that's going to be a ton of congestion. So we need to fit more transactions into each block. And I actually want to just very, very quickly talk about a project that is already getting ready to do on-chain governance. And I've talked about this one before. I think you also talked to these guys before, JCrypto. This is Flickto Media.
Yep.
And I'll be super quick, but it's kind of a different thing. It's a different project. This is a media incubator. What they're doing is they're trying to fund projects, film and movie projects. And so they've actually got an app that everyone can sign up for. It's totally free. You can hit launch beta app here. And once you log in, you can see here, this is a list of all these movies that are asking for funding. So you've got a feature film here called 26 Steps, and they're asking for $169,000. And the way it's going to work is you can go in here and vote. You see how there's a voting section on the left here? Well, initially that's not on chain because there's too much congestion. But eventually Flickto is going to let you and me and JCrypto and everyone vote for which movie should get funding. How cool is that? Because that means you and me, Jay,
Dude.
we become like Steven Spielberg. We
Well-
become like movie producers. Go ahead.
Well, let me just say this, because obviously people might not know my background, but I used to be, kind of a lead role in a lot of school plays back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Always kind of been told I should be an actor, right? I was into ice hockey though, so it just kind of conflicted. Once I hit a certain age, I had to put away the acting shoes for a while. But yeah, man, you just never know what life has in store, especially if it's like a cat, a JCrypto and cat adventure story, right? Where we explore the metaverse. It could really happen. We don't know. We'll see.
I love it. I love it. And so this is Flickto, and it lets all of us become producers and decide what gets funded. Now, some projects are asking for smaller amounts, right? This project here is only asking for $2,700, but others are asking for 1.7 million. But you can read more about the projects here if you go learn more. This is like a proper feature film, right? There's actors and actresses, and so Flickto, they're going to be giving money to these projects, but you and I, Jay, are going to decide which projects get the money, and with this voting apparatus. And I love if soon the voting starts happening on chain once we have more room in these blocks.
I love it. I love it, Timmy. And who knows, man? So how can I use Flickto as a content creator?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. And I'm going to go right to their site. Let me just go back here. Oops. And there's a section here, all for content creators. They have a white paper, but then they have a submit a project button. And what's cool is they want to support internet streamers as well, YouTubers and everyone else. So if you have a media project like the JCrypto show, or maybe JCrypto and Subcritical are going to do like a new interview show. Oops. What have I done? Okay. Here we go. That's a bit of a mess. There we go. Back in business. So yeah, you can hit the submit a project button, and it can be a YouTube show, it can be an internet streaming show or whatever, and you can get funding that way. If you click on the white paper, you'll get a link to download the very detailed white paper. But when you scroll down here, you'll see 4 content creators. And so it says, if you're a content creator, you can use Flickto to gain access to funding. You can get funding. You can get support in creation of your actual movie. So that they're going to have like access to film studios and prop companies and costume companies. So you're going to be able to get like discounts and get introductions to film and TV production companies. You're also going to gain insight and feedback from the community. So this is a big thing about Flickto is we're going to be able to talk to the movie creators and talk to the TV show creators. There's going to be like this social media element. And so as a YouTube creator, you're going to be able to get feedback on here. Did you want to say something, Jay? I thought you might have had something there.
No, I did. Look at that last bullet point. Supporting creation and distribution of project artifacts such as NFTs and trailers, the one that you were on. It's actually bringing up an idea, because you said earlier you'd love to see more YouTubers create an NFT. Well, for me, it's interesting because I've been thinking a lot about, staying away from creating an NFT project until I have something in my mind that has enough utility that I would feel comfortable releasing. And
Right.
it's really funny because this is just the type of thing that I think we're seeing an early trend start here. Talking about
Yep.
trends, because that was another topic we were going to try to fit in today. What if there was a way for people to essentially own some kind of, just like Nito gave me a song that him and Crime Fighter, that squad, did, where it's like an intro for my JCrypto show, and in the metadata it says, hey, you have the rights to this song. It'd be really fun to give like an educational piece on some evergreen topic for either the history of CNFTs, something of that nature, that we maybe even all work on, NFT it, and then
Oh, wow.
give people that, and they own it. Now they have the rights to it in case it becomes historically significant. Not saying that we're that good that a piece of content from us will be historically significant, but you just never know.
Yeah, I agree. I think owning part of the JCrypto show would be like owning the Bible. I mean, it's like that. It's that historic. No, I'm just joking, but I think there is something there. Like, imagine if you could own maybe BitBoy's first show, or imagine if you could own
Well,
part of the first the first color television show. Like, that'd be kind of
dude,
cool.
well, imagine even like if a few content creators kind of got together and tried to track down a few of the earliest CNFT projects and created a little bit of we could honestly create a little bit of a documentary of like the history of CNFTs too.
Yep,
That would be like a really cool
that'd be really
NFT.
cool. I'd be down to do that. I'll partner with you for that. Even though,
That would be sick, man. I would actually love to do that. Like that would be really kind of interesting.
let's bring this up, and then we'll move to trends and give away another whitelist.
Maybe we'll have
But
to do
I'll do
that
is
though, Timmy. I'm just gonna throw
yeah,
that
let's
out
talk
there.
about that. Yeah, let's talk about it. I'm into like making. I can do like the CGI part. I could do a cinematic maybe. Alduis has this comment.
Dude,
As an investor, what I really look forward though is revenue sharing. Okay, so being able to talk to the projects and vote is fun, but show me the money, show me the dollars. If it don't
Gary
make dollars,
Maguire,
it don't
let's
make
go.
sense. And so one thing I want to show you is actually that's what Flickto is all about. And so actually you do get distribution royalties. And so if you vote for the project, you'll actually, every time you vote, you're going to get some Flickto token. So that's an incentive there. But actually, if a project goes on and becomes profitable, you will get distribution rewards from the funded projects. You can see that down here as well. So yeah, they're on the same page. Alduis, where they want to actually give you revenue sharing with the projects, with the movie, and the TV shows that get funded. So that's what they're promising. So we'll see. I mean, I've done a little bit of research, but they have a lot of full-time employees that are pretty well connected in the film industry. So they might be able to pull it off. But we'll see. It's a very ambitious project, and it has this huge community element, which actually makes it challenging, in my opinion. Like, Cardano had to do a lot of work to get our community to be as powerful and engaged as it is. So we'll see if they're able to pull it off, but I think it's super creative, it's super unique, and I'm keeping an eye on it. Yeah.
So I got two trends too that I just want to mention before we kind of do the last giveaway of the day. I think we're going to start to see more and more of. I just did a video, Timmy, on Lending Pond. Have you used it yet? Have you tried it out?
No, I haven't tried it out. I've been talking to the team, and I think we're going to try and have them on the show, maybe next week or the week after. But very, very smart team. But I haven't used it yet. Tell me about it.
Yeah, man. So I think you'd love it, honestly. Well, I mean, in my video, you should watch it because there was a deal that I saw on there, right? Where essentially there was a term for a loan where somebody had a boss cat. And I know that you're big into boss cats. I don't own any,
Yeah.
but I call Timmy the boss cat. I just call him. I say, "What's up, boss cat?" But essentially, what's funny about this is he's big into boss cats. This was a, I guess, borrower, right? A potential borrower who listed their NFT. It was a boss cat, and they wanted 1,100 ADA. for like a loan. Now the loan would last 2 weeks, okay? And they were willing to pay a 7% interest rate. So
Oh,
that means that the lender, if I gave 1100 ADA, right, I would be getting back 70 ADA on top of the 1100 ADA in 2 weeks, which is a really solid interest rate for ADA since we make 4% a year.
yeah, it's crazy.
That was a great deal in my opinion, and I talked about why in that video, because the one thing about NFT lending that people need to remember is if the borrower doesn't pay me back, I end up keeping the NFT. So in that case, it was a boss cat, which had a floor price of around 1600 ADA. They were asking for 1100. So if they didn't pay me back, the 1100 ADA and the interest in 2 weeks, I would have kept that boss cat for such a huge discount.
Yep.
Because 1100 ADA is a lot less than a 1600 floor price. If boss cats stayed around the same floor price, I doubt they were going to go to 1100 ADA.
Yep.
I didn't end up going into that loan, but what I was thinking too is there's an element of NFTs being locked up here in loans that will take NFTs out of supply. I've talked about this a lot.
Yep.
I've been doing a lot of research on this that will actually increase the value of some of these NFT projects. And then there's a new thing that I've been thinking about, Timmy, that I don't think I've mentioned to you, which is if me and you eventually wanted to build or have a multi-sig wallet with each other and lend on NFTs that we are okay keeping if the borrower doesn't pay us back.
Yeah. I'd love to like share a multi-sig wallet with you. It's kind of like a lot of married couples do this. I know you're technically married, but maybe I could be your cat wife or something, and we could share a wallet together and do some lending. I'm down.
You're the weirdest person ever, but at the same time, I think it would be awesome, right? Because then we can mitigate our risk. We could kind of create, like, people can do this though, is what I'm trying to say. I'm down. We should do that as a proof of concept even, and just like do it for fun and as like, you know, this is new stuff on Cardano. But that's kind of a good deal because you're mitigating your risk as a lender even more. And then we're getting NFTs that are controlled by a multi-sig wallet that we can then decide to either sell or hodl depending on what happens. And the more people in the multi-sig wallet, obviously, the less money that you need to do this stuff. And a lot of these loans, like for a SpacePug, for example, you're going to need a lot of ADA. So if you wanted to get a SpacePug, if the floor price for SpacePug 6,000 ADA, they're offering, you know, they want a 4,500 ADA loan, and then they don't pay you back and you keep that SpacePug. There's just enormous upside potentially on that for people that join together and work together on this stuff, I think.
I think so. You dropped so much knowledge there. I want to say a couple quick things. That example you gave of a boss cat owner trying to loan 1100 ADA, to borrow 1100 ADA, if it's less than the floor price, it's safe. But be very, very careful because there's a lot of people that are actually asking they're asking to borrow more than the floor price. And so then their intention is to default, and they basically just sold you their NFT. And so the system really makes sense when the amount they're asking to borrow is less than the value of the NFT. Otherwise, their collateral is underwater from day one.
And don't be surprised if you do see that too, because in the video that I did the other day, I identified, I think, 3 or 4 different opportunities there where that was exactly right, Timmy. People, it's so early that it's almost kind of like in a way, it's kind of like a little bit scammy, because if you have an NFT that's worth $100 and you're asking for $200 of
you're basically
loan,
just selling the NFT because you're going to default.
At a premium.
So you got to be careful. One quick question though I have, JCrypto, is I totally understand the lender side, like how we can make 7% interest and stuff. What are the borrowers doing? Like I would never borrow. I don't know if I would ever. I mean, because I have ADA, right? So why do people borrow? Yeah, why?
So let me put it this way. I wouldn't do this now because...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why is anybody doing this now?
I haven't said the example.
All right.
I just mean, like, and we'll get to the whitelist, guys, but this is really fun, so I'm going to spend a minute or two on this
Yeah.
before we do that. If I have a space bud, and let's just say in the future, because I bought a space bud around 5K ADA, so I just, I'm waiting for that to appreciate more.
I didn't know
Because
you had a space bud. Massive flex. That's why you're so happy all the time. All right.
yeah, it's in my Twitter profile picture.
Oh,
It's like
wow.
it's
Oh, I
right
didn't know
next to
you
me.
owned that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't put a NFT that I don't, own, but I might still. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But let me just say it like this: let's say space buds are worth 50K after a huge pump in NFT market,
Yep.
and I don't know if that space bud's going to go down in value, but I know that that's $50,000. I might ask for a loan of $49,000 and just be like, hey, listen, I will pay an interest rate of 5% in 2 weeks. I might just keep that $49,000 to see what the market does. If the market for space buds goes up, I'll pay back that loan right away and get my space bud and probably take out a loan at another price. If that market dips, though, now I have the option to default on the loan, buy a space bud at a lower price, and then keep the margin. So that's what I think.
That's interesting, actually. Now I understand. So it's almost like having an option spread, like having, if you're familiar with Iron Condor, but basically you have a put and a call on
It's
the
like
same underlying
yep.
Asset. And so that's interesting. Yeah. So if the price of the space buds goes up, you can sell the space bud and pay off your loan, and you just made 3,000 ADA or whatever. If the space buds goes down, you could default on your loan, and you still got the 49,000 principal. That's pretty cool. Yeah, now I understand. It's kind of like a hedge. You win
It's like
both
an
ways.
Iron Condor and options trading a little
Yeah.
bit. But yeah, man, I could talk about this stuff all day. I could talk Timmy's cat ears off, but I won't, because honestly, it's just not why we're here. We're here for the giveaway. That's the only reason why people are here. Timmy, let's give away another whitelist spot. let's
do it.
Let's do them justice, man.
Okay, so this one is maybe one for me to give away. And so do we want to do it the same way? Or are we going to be counting up to like 120? How many do we have here for comments? I think we have to do it the same way right now, but I do want to check out one of these Twitter comment pickers next time.
I think people, I'll just talk real quick. I don't think people understand, because there's people commenting that they should blacklist defaulters. But the thing is, because it's an asset-backed loan, the dynamics are a little bit different than when it's a credit-backed loan. Because everyone knows going in that there's like an asset to be basically had. It's part of the thing that actually creates a lot of cool dynamics that can come out of this lending model. If it was a credit-backed loan, then yeah, 100%. If somebody defaults on their loan, they should be blacklisted. But since it's an asset-backed loan, it's a little bit different. Where I think it's actually okay to have defaulting on loans, because then you have people that are okay putting their NFTs up for a loan. And if the market does go up, boom, they can also get some interest. And remember, by the way, sorry, Timmy, I just want to say one more point on this. Why is it good for a lender to enter into a loan if the market goes down? Well, maybe they're buying a space bud if the floor is 50,000 ADA. And maybe they're buying a space bud for 45,000 ADA by entering in a loan that gets defaulted instead of buying one for 50,000, right? So there's a chance that that person was in the market anyways. If they're buying the same kind of NFT, might as well enter into a loan that's backed by the asset in case the borrower defaults, because you might have a chance to get that asset at a discount of where you were going to buy it in the market. All right, man.
Yeah, that's a good point. And actually, as a lender, you might actually want to be lending out to people that will default, because that's how you'll get the NFT at a discount. And I had a good discussion with the founders of the lending pond about, like, should we actually show performance history of the borrowers? So if someone's defaulting a lot, maybe we can show that. And like as a borrower, I actually might want to show my history to lenders and let them know, hey, I tend to default a lot, or I tend to pay it a lot. I think it'd be cool to have an optional, like, show my data. It's optional for the borrower, but whatever.
It's tough, yeah.
All right, so I actually counted 50 #gauntlets, the smooth 50. So that's pretty cool that you guys kind of showed up. Thanks everyone for showing out and putting those. Now 3 of those have already won. So we'll skip those if they come up, and then I'll just roll again for the people if by chance someone wins a second time. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the button. But first, Jay, can I get a drum roll, please?
Yeah, and I just want to give a shout out to the Rocky one. He dropped some bars in the chat. I won't go into it now, but I love this username, Rocky one. He's always at our things. So shout out to Rocky one. We love you, man.
All right.
Drum roll.
All right. 25, right down the middle. Okay, interesting.
Wow.
So I did it off of this list. So here I go. Give me a minute here. $16, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Cloud Hunk and Sons Furnishings. Oh, that sounds like it might be, Furnace Cabins. Wow, this guy's like a hardcore Ape Society person. His whole Twitter is all about Furnace Cabins because the craftsmen are actually going to be able to create furniture. So Cloud Hunk and Sons Furnishings.
LTD. That's insane. This guy is hardcore. That's awesome.
Yeah. So he probably has some apes. He probably doesn't need the whitelist, but fair is fair. He's going to get another one.
That's true. That's true, actually.
I have a couple, so that's fine too. But the nice thing is we're sure he's definitely going to use it. This person looks definitely into society. Look, you can see the Ape Society here. I hope he's not on the team. I don't think he's on the team. I know the 3 people on the team, so I think that's okay. But congratulations, you're the winner. I'm going to send you a DM as well, just to get your address, and then we'll share that with the team. Very, very cool. So 50 people showed up with the hashtag Gauntlet, but let's see how many people just liked the post. 57, wow, and 47 retweets. How cool is that, Jay? That's cool.
Dude, that's awesome. I just checked my DMs of the 2 winners, and I just want to let you guys know that I will probably take I don't know, me and Timmy like to do our production stuff right after the Gauntlet, so give us some time, but I saw both DMs. We will get it sorted today. We'll make sure that we get the addresses over and we give you any instructions or directions that the Ape Society team has for us, but just give us some time. We'll get back to you later tonight or today. And
keep an eye on my Twitter profile, because in about 2 hours, I'm going to start another giveaway contest where I'm going to give away at least 1, maybe 2 more whitelists.
I should probably show mine too. Do you have one going on right now, by the way?
No, the one from yesterday ended at 9 p.m. Pacific, but I'm going to start another one. And this one I'm going to run for 24 hours because the one I did yesterday only was like for North American time zone. That's not fair. So I'm going to do another one, run it for 24 hours, 1 more whitelist giveaway, maybe 2. I might just do 2 and get rid of my last 2.
All right, let me share this one then. So basically, I just holy crap, Timmy. There's been so many people engaging with this.
Well, Cloud Hunk is here. I'll just jump in. Cloud Hunk, that just won 10% discount at their furniture store to Timmy. It's on the record. So I'm definitely taking you up on that offer. That's so cool that they're here, and congratulations.
That's sick. I'm happy for you, Timmy. It's always nice to get those furniture store discounts. Furniture can be expensive. Huge. Okay, so basically all you got to do here for this other giveaway, we're giving away 3 on Sunday. I posted another tweet right here that I'll be picking 3 winners on Sunday, April 24th at 6 p.m. UTC. I'm actually going to try to do this maybe on a video that I'll post to my channel too. But you guys will know if you're the winners because I'll get to you somehow. But just follow me in the Ape Society, like and retweet this tweet, and then just subscribe to the YouTube and post a screenshot of that you're subscribed. And Timmy, I think you did the exact same tweet because I just copied yours too. But you're saying that you're running. Do you want to go over how many more giveaways you're doing too?
Yeah. So I was gonna do 1, but I'll just go ahead and give both of them out. So I'm gonna do another Twitter post in 2 hours, and you're just gonna have to do the same thing. Just like and follow, just follow me in the Ape Society on Twitter. Follow my subscribe to my YouTube, and then retweet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 2 people who retweeted to be the winner. I'm just going to use Google's random number generator, and we'll do it that way. So that's going to start in 2 hours. It's going to run for 24 hours, and then I'll pick the winners about 26 hours from now on Sunday afternoon. So yeah, a big shout out to the Ape Society. They gave a bunch of these away to me and JCrypto and Chronic, big friend of the channel. So also check out Chronic's Twitter profile because he's giving away whitelists. Check out Freedom 35ers. They're giving away whitelists. And check out the Ape Society because they're making this all happen. The price is 150 ADA. Everyone with these whitelists can mint on Wednesday. And you'll get your own little cabin, which is kind of like your own little bubble, your own little private metaverse instance, from what I understand, created in Unreal Engine. And that's what I'm in. I'm actually in Unreal Engine right now. My home is in Unreal Engine, and it's a beautiful engine. So I can't wait to see what they do with it.
Definitely one of my favorite gauntlets, honestly. Had a lot of stuff that, you know, while I was out, I was just waiting to talk about, and we got to talk about a good amount here today. Really big thanks to everybody who joined on the giveaway. Not everybody can win, obviously, but we have a few more giveaways that we're gonna be doing here. So just like Timmy said, follow us and the other content creators and just participate in those because you never know. Huge shout out to everyone that came to see this gauntlet too. You know, I mean, we had a really great show, a lot of different topics. We got the founder of SpacePugs on here, who was so excited, man. That guy was pumped. Did you see that? That guy had some seriously
check out his channel. He's always like that. He's always like that. He's very, very healthy guy, always really, really high energy. But check out his YouTube, Ultimate CNFT. He's always got such crazy energy. Yeah, you're right, Jay. He was pumped, and he always is, though.
He was pumped, and he always is. And yeah, so I thought it was a great gauntlet. Thank you, Timmy, obviously, as well. And dude, great stuff on the SIP. That was actually really interesting, and it sounds like it's going to be a good deal. I want us to try to go into those SIPs more here on the gauntlet when we can, because they're just such big deals when it comes to Cardano finishing the basic stuff that it kind of needs. I call it the nutrients it needs to really be a competitive product on the market here.
You said it. All right. Well, once again, thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be back next Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We already have a project, I think, lined up for that. I'll give you a hint. It's an Arctic project. They like to clap their hands. It's an animal.
Ooh.
It sometimes sounds like that's kind of what it sounds like. So I don't know if that helps you figure out who's coming on next Saturday, but that'll be at 2 p.m. Eastern. Any guesses, JCrypto? Does that sound like any animal?
I honestly don't know what a platypus sounds like, but maybe that's what it sounds like, ladies and gentlemen. You didn't give us much there, Timmy. I don't think. I mean, it could be. Oh, okay. So it's definitely something, you know, aquatic here. So
yep. Okay,
I won't spoil it. I might have it too, but we'll see.
Nice. So that'll be next Saturday. Cool.
Oh, he got it. A demon animal. Yep, you're right, Connor. Dang it. He got it. All right, guys and girls. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Meow.